What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Chat Kid, coming back at you with another fire video. And today, as you can see by the title, we're going to be doing Tall, Thin and Faceless chapter, well, not chapter 2, but the second part. Yeah, second part. Right, without any waffle this time whatsoever, let's get right into it. Hold on, let me just put my song on. And I was in an unfamiliar place. Grey painted walls, small window on one of them. One exceptionally bland table. Great. I was in an interrogation room. I sat there, alone for the good part of an hour before actual human life entered the room with me. Now, my memory's a bit hazy at this point, so I'll try to sum up the conversation as best as possible. The officer had said, "Your son didn't survive. Deepest sympathies to you and your family. You've not been proven guilty, but evidence leads towards it. Further investigation must be held. You'll be brought back home, but you will be put under constant supervision," and so forth and so forth. I was driven home in the back of a police cruiser. Last time I was there in high school. Last time I was there was in high school, and vandalism was the cool thing to do. I was welcome with open arms on my still sobbing wife and my emotionless son. Going back wasn't easy. Thankfully, we didn't have to stay long. The police explained that we were going to stay in a hotel for a few days. We gathered our things, and when a picture from our fridge caught my eye, it was a picture of that my late son drew. When I saw it, my heart nearly stopped. In the cutest crayon drawing you could imagine, my son was standing next to a tall, faceless man in a black suit. I made sure no one was around to see me stuff the picture into my pocket. The hotel was what you would normally expect. Simple wallpaper, 2 twin beds, 1 TV, cheap floral design, and everything else. It would have to do since we were stuck there. We settled in, placing out our stuff and lying down. I, on the other hand, went to the bathroom, the only place I knew was private. I locked the door and took the picture out of my pocket. I scoured the page for clues, but to no avail. All there was the crude drawing and his name scribbled into the bottom corner. The thing that annoyed me the most was the fact that the slender man had no face, no identity, not a single outstanding feature. It rattled me to the core, but I had enough stress from today. I needed sleep badly. The night was rough, but I still managed to. Not a single dream with the slender man either. Then a banging came from the door. Being half asleep the whole time, it scared the shit out of me. I turned to my right. 5:14 a.m. Heads were going to roll. I dragged myself out of bed and very slowly opened the door. It was a police officer that drove us here. He had a look of panic on his face. He said my son was missing. Nothing clicked. It took me a minute to wake up and grasp reality again. My son's body was missing. Snatched right out from the hospital. But this time I knew where he was. I had to get back to the forest. I had to find the remains of my suit. It was the only way to stop the Slender Man. But I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I had asked the police officer who could drive me to my house, as I had forgotten something. He pondered for a moment and obliged. This time I'd been allowed to sit in the passenger seat. The ride there was quiet. I tried to get some sleep. He didn't start any conversation. When we got there, I was careful to make sure no one else saw me. I entered the house through the front door and quickly escaped out the back and headed to the forest. It was still very dark out, so traversing the heavily wooded area was not easy. The only light that came through was that of the moon. So I walked, almost blind, hoping to find some scrap of my suit. It seemed to be impossible until, amidst the darkness, I saw a scrap of paper. The white of it stood out like a soft thumb. I leaned down to pick it up, and when I turned it around, what I saw completely horrified me. It was another drawing by my son with both him and the Slender Man, but this one was different. There were 3 other people, a boy the same height as him, an older looking girl, and another boy as big as the girl. Then it dawned on me. It was us. My family. My son drew us with the Slender Man. Then I saw a beam of light. It was a police officer. I ran up to him and showed him the picture. I explained that my family was in great danger. All he told me was that there was nothing he could do. He said we should go back to the car and we should go back to the hotel. A million thoughts ran through my head. Should I concede? Should I resist? What I did next is peanuts compared to what was about to unfold, but I didn't know, and looking back, I didn't want to. I gave in to the police officer's request and began to head back to the car. Whilst he had his back towards me, I picked up a fairly thick stone and brought it down upon his head. He staggered a bit, then fell to the ground. I took the car keys off of him and ran towards the car. It was still dark. I needed to get back to the hotel. I screeched an immediate halt in the hotel parking lot and ran towards the door where we were all staying. I swung open the door to behold the one thing I was trying to prevent. Amidst all the blood that painted the room with 3 bodies making a circle around the Slender Man. He turned and looked at me, his hollow, non-existent eyes staring deep in me. Emotions I never felt before, emotions without names, filled my brain and my body. It was like he was making me feel everything he ever had. With an outstretched hand, he said only one thing that would be burned into my mind forever. Help me. Sirens came from behind me. I turned around to see the police cruisers pull into the parking lot and watch them get out. Using the car doors as shields with their guns aimed at me, I raised my hands above my head. I slowly looked behind me to see the Slender Man fade to nothing, leaving only a tattered suit in a heap on the floor. He killed my family. My life would never be the same, and yet something told me I was never going to see him again. I would never be able to exact revenge, even if I figured out how to. Everything up until the white padded walls isn't exactly clear to me. I've been told that they saw me at the hotel with my DNA on the suit. I was made the primary culprit. After they arrested me and subjected me to the frivolous testing, to which they got nothing more than unintelligible noises, I was submitted to this place. The white padded walls. The same white padded walls I see all day, every day. No one will know what happened to me and my family. The emotions that were broadcasted to me caused me to lose my ability of speech. Now all I can do is write and draw. I write out the emotion that the Slender Man felt. I draw the things he'd seen. They are what keep me here. I'm the victim of another man's emotion. Sometimes I feel like I've become him, like we were the same being. That day, I learned something. We were Slender. Right, that is a nice ending right there. If you ask me, I'm joking. I don't really know how to feel about the ending, honestly. It feels kind of flat, and like up until about, I want to say, I feel like up until this point right here, that's all of that is good. All that's fine. But yeah, it is actually a really good story. I must admit, it is a really nice story. It's one of the only actually decent Slenderman stories out there, I believe. And what I'm thinking of doing is, if you want me to read more creepypastas, not creepypastas, more Slenderman stories specifically, or many more character stories, let me know in the comment section. I've still got stories. I'm gonna still keep going. But it's a good story up until about the end. I don't see the point in killing the guy, killing the police officer even, because what's the point? He was just trying to help him, and like, and what I'm wondering the reason as to why Slenderman would want the drawings that he made. It's still a really good story. I need to reinforce the fact that I think this is a good story. But like, yeah, I think the ending's a bit confusing. And I don't really get it, in all honesty. But I find it, if you want to skip off this part, by the way, I'm going to go on a bit of a tirade. I find it mad to think that the Slenderman has such an influence that it has. Like, if I put Slenderman into Google, there's been 2 official movies, well, by Marble Horns, that wasn't good, and the Slenderman movie from 2018, which was, awful. And there's a lot of it's the only creepypasta character to have 2 movies made about him. It's mad. It's absolute madness. And the thing that was just some random dude on the internet that decided, was like, hey, I kind of want to win this competition. And then, exactly. Then the Slenderman was created. And obviously the stabbing and all that. I think the Slenderman stabbing is what really, like, killed the is what really killed the fandom, really. Even though it is still going extremely strong, it's not like the creepypasta community can recover from this. Like a whole stabbing, right? And oh, where's it gone? Oh, where is it? I saw something. Where's it gone? God damn it. There it is. Here, Slenderman strikes again. Girl 13 allegedly stabs mum in order to honor horror character. I fully believe that this is legitimate. And that's one of the most frustrating things. Stuff like this kills kills the community. When an actual crime happens, that it just ruins the community. Like, for example, I know Scott didn't commit a crime, but when Scott Cawthon donated to those charities, I don't know the full situation about it, but I just know that it got cancelled. That basically essentially killed the man's career. Or maybe it didn't, I don't know. But I know something else I've noticed. If I put in Jeff the Killer, I was looking on. So occasionally I just look at Jeff the Killer images on my PC. Well, it's not my PC, but on the shared PC that I have with my brethren. I find it. I think. Oh God, where's it gone? It's one of these images. Where is it? Oh, where's it gone? No, that's not it. I'll be underneath one of these images. Oh, I don't think I can find it. Like the video.